Pink Poodle Crafts, join the Poodle Pack. It's time to get creative and make you laugh. Make your own art today. Pink Poodle Crafts is the way.
What a good boy. Hey crafty family, it's me. And we are back for part 2 of our clay bead and charm fun. And these are the colors. I ended up painting them, which are not showing up that great on camera. These are black in this pile here. These are a dark purple. These are the original color of the clay, which was like a muted kind of teal color. These are blue. I painted them with acrylic paint that I didn't know was like a glossy acrylic paint. So they're kind of glossy, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. And then these are teal. So now we're going to use a variety of things to make the texture on these pop. Now you can use a lot of different things. You do not have to use exactly what I'm using, but some of the things you can use is Pearl X pigments, Perfect Pearl pigments with mica. You can even use LA Colors eyeshadow, and I'll show you that too. I've got it in a couple different colors. I thought I had a pink, but I guess not. You can, here's another Pearl X in like a purple. You can also use cosmic shimmers as well. And yes, if you could find any cheap, you might even have eyeshadow in your own makeup that you can use. It's got to be the loose pigment eyeshadow with a shimmer to it. See, I don't know if you can see, whoops, how that kind of shimmers. Let me see. No, it's not showing up. Anyway, so I've got all of these to use. And then you can also use things like your metallic lusters or Inca Golds. And if you don't have any of these things, I'm sure you have a cheap bottle of metallic paint, because you can use metallic paint to do it, and I'll show you that as well. So I'm going to start off with some of the powders, and I'm going to do the moon first, and I'm going to use a variety of things. These come out real nice. Any of these kind of Perfect Pearls, Cosmic Shimmers, all that stuff, they come out nice. With these, though, you have to seal them in, so I'll show you how to do that after we're done. That's like a pink color. That's like a purple color. And since they're, you know, not much different than Perfect Pearls, I'll use, I don't think I have a teal. I kind of do. But I like this color in the Perfect Pearls. So they're all very similar. And what you can use is a soft brush, and the Perfect Pearls comes with that. The Cosmic Shimmers comes with one too, which I think just needs to be fluffed out. That one sheds a bit. Let's use this because this one's like a nice makeup brush. It's very soft. And you take a little bit of the pigment, and let me zoom you in because it'll be a bit easier for you to see if I can zoom you in. Let's see. That's a little better. I don't want to zoom it too much, but you can just tap or rub your powders on. And I don't know if, you know, these are going to stay on very well without a base. I might need to use some of that stuff. It comes with, when you're using like the wet clay, you could do it, but I may need to use some of this stuff here. Perfect Pearls has a medium, and you can put this on your surface, and it's kind of like a glue, and adhere your, to adhere your your pigment to. And it'll stick better, obviously. We can see it's sticking much better now. So if yours has that same type of thing, you could just use that. I'm not sure what else you could replace it with, but maybe you can just use, ooh, that's a pretty one. Maybe you can just use, what do you call it? I'm trying to think. Look how pretty that is. And shimmery with different colors. You can use your Versamark, that's what I was going to say. Because I'm still going to seal this by putting a spray finish on top of it. And I'm going to do the back side as well. And I'm going to use this stuff for that. Now on the back, I've got a lot of raised texture, so it's only going to get onto the raised texture really well. It won't get in between as nearly as much. And that's okay, because that gives it kind of a cool look. And then there's the other side. Love that. So pretty. And that's the fun thing about like using these type of powders. And that's some more colors I'll break out. And I like to tap on them to make sure nothing is going to spill out when I open it. And you can, like I said, you can use these as well. These here cheapy ones have a little brush. I gotta put the stuff on it. And we're not going to worry about the stuff, we're just going to worry about the raised sections. Because that's where it'll give it the most dimension. When you worry about just like the raised areas, really brings out the dimension. So here you could take some of this and do the same thing. And this is just eyeshadow from the dollar store. And as you can see, it does the same thing. I want to use different colors, so I'm going to work different colors into it. And you just want to basically tap the colors in. Oh, I can use the white. That's a nice one too. And I just like putting random colors on. It's kind of fun. Look at that. That looks so cool. Now there's no texture on the back. I'm just going to, since this is more of a charm, I'm just going to leave that blank on the back and go on to another one. And now this one's going to be hard for me to get the stuff on. So I'm going to find a brush. Let's see, like this one here, like a stiffer brush to apply the medium with, because it's got a lot of dimension to get into the nooks of. And this thing is like, I don't know what happened, but the stuff that the pad that it sits in, like, I've had these for so long that like the pad disintegrated. It's kind of like mush. I don't know why. It's kind of still usable. So sorry if I'm off camera. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, good enough. And there's that one. Very cool. Now let's do one of the purple ones. I don't know why this thing disintegrated the way it did. It's just weird. I don't know. Does anybody else have perfect pearls in the medium that comes with it? Did your pad disintegrate into mush? It's just weird, I say. Now this will fall into all the raised parts, and then there'll be some purple left behind. Like in the recesses. The light is like glary, so it makes it hard to see the color that I'm trying to show you on here. I don't know, but it looks cool in person. That's all I can say. It looks cool in person. Let's do one of these suckers. Those actually might not be as good. Maybe this one. Where's that pad at? There it is. I like the pink. gives it a cool look. And there's that one. Maybe I should do the edges of this one. Very cool. They're looking cool. So that's how you do it with the pigment powders. What I'm going to do now is show you how to do it. Ooh, that was squeaky. Well, actually, I have one more powder to show you, the Pearl X. I didn't show you Pearl X, which is, you know, kind of like a similar, I mean, pretty much similar. I just want to show you what it looks like so you know. But yeah, if you have any loose eyeshadow that has like a shimmer to it, like a mica in it or something, you can certainly use that as well, obviously, as I showed you that already. Okay. That's cool. Very cool. I'll do the other side in a different color. I'm just going to cap these a little bit while I show you the next thing, because I'm always afraid I'm going to knock them over and waste them. Because these aren't something you can brush into your hand and put back. They'll pretty much just disintegrate. If you drop them somewhere, you pretty much got to just use something wet and be done with them, and that's it. Okay, so metallic lusters. We can take these and do some cool things. Like, for instance, just take your finger and rub it on the texture. And you can even rub it on the ends. And you can use either Inca Gold or and see how that spark kind of shines. Let's do this one. Beautiful, beautiful. I bet it'll look cool on here. Yep, it does. This stuff looks the best always on black, but I did want to add some other colors in. But stuff like this does look best on black. it shows up best on black and kind of really accentuates the shine on black the best. So these are some ways that you can make some really cool things with your clay, with stuff that most of us already have. Purple and gold. This is like a rose gold. Make a good combo. And if you're gentle and just go over the raised parts. Look how pretty that is. Very pretty. Yeah, these are a lot of fun to do. And then I told you I'd show you metallic paint. So let's say you just had some, here's some blue metallic. It's like a light blue metallic. So you could take one of your black pieces and see. Take very little on your finger and then rub it on to the surface and the edges if you want to. And voila, you get the same effect. So there's many ways to get the same effect on these. Many ways. There's not just one way to do it. So hopefully that helps you out when it comes to decorating your beads. Or if you don't want to do any of this, you can just paint them with any colors you want with a brush and just paint them. You know, you don't have to do this at all. You could just paint them and leave them solid colored. You know, that's up to you. I think doing it this way is really cool. It gives a cool shimmer. You get some really cool, interesting looks. And, you know, it really accentuates any kind of texture that you put on. So, okay, I'm going to finish these. I'm going to decorate all these with different pigments and metallic lusters and whatever. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to seal it all in. So, I will be back in a split second. Okay. So I'm back, and these are some beads I have here that need, I painted all of them and did all what I want to do to them. And so here's some that I want to varnish. So what I'm going to do to varnish them is I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to you can use anything you want to varnish them. You can use a varnish. You can take some glossy accents and put it in a little cup and put that on it. You can use Mod Podge, glossy Mod Podge. You don't have to use gloss at all. If you don't want them to be glossy, then use a matte varnish. You can spray them. You can do anything you want. I'm just going to use this, which is a sealer that I had gotten at the Creative Reuse, I think. I don't know. It's some weird super gloss sealer, and it's basically just a varnish. And so I'm going to use that. And what's easy to do is put it on a toothpick and go ahead and coat it with varnish. Usually you want to do a couple of coats. Just one won't really do as good of a job as if you do 2 to 3 coats. So usually, I do my 2 or 3 coats. I let them dry for about, 20 minutes in between. That's the best way to do it. And you want to be careful. You don't want to get your varnish, down in your hole. And if you do, and you see that your hole is clogged a little bit, take a toothpick and kind of shove it in there and just get out anything that's clogging it. And once you varnish it, if you don't have anything to stick the toothpick in, the top of a paper towel roll. Now, if you have a fuller paper towel roll, it works better too, but you could just shove it in like that. So if you don't have foam or a cardboard box, you can shove it in. You could just do it in the top of a paper towel roll. That'll hold it really well. So that's what I do for mine. I keep it simple, and they turn out looking really cool. Very easy peasy, I promise. And before you actually use them, even if they might be dry to the touch, before you actually use them and put them on jewelry or whatever you're going to do with them, if you're going to make a chunky charm like I am, you want to give them at least 24 to 48 hours to completely cure up. I'll move this here so you can kind of see that I'm sticking them in there. Because you want them to have time to definitely harden. So I would say a good 24 to 48 hours to set up before you go using them, because otherwise you might smudge. This one's not staying on there very well. Maybe that side. Because you don't want to like smudge your finish or... But if you let it... Another trick is if you let them dry well enough in between, they'll cure quicker. Because if you make one coat and then go back 5 minutes later and make another coat and then go back 5 minutes later for a third coat, you're going to find that it's still going to take longer to cure. But if you give it like an hour between coats, you're going to be better off. So these kind, I don't put them on a toothpick. I just do one side. And then when it dries enough where I could turn it over, I do the other side. And then I do the actual sides. And sometimes I'll do some of the sides. And then I'll go back when I turn it over and do the other parts of the little side parts, because I try to get all of it. So, yeah, it's very easy. Not rocket science in any way. Just coat it and let it dry. And that's all you need to do. So, let me move these out of the way real quick. Put the cap back on that so it doesn't dry out. And get a baby wipe. And if my camera is doing weird things and it seems a little choppy, I apologize. It's probably because I have something saving in the background and I didn't have time to let that run through before I did this part of the video. So I did all these already. They have been curing for a couple of days, so they're pretty good. They, you know, some of them are even a little still sticky a bit, but nothing a little longer time or a little heat gun will you know, won't fix. But yeah, they're nice and shiny. They've got a good shine on them, even on the back. Yeah, so this is all the beads. All the beads. Pretty amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will definitely give it a try. Because it's awesome. Oh, I didn't do this one. I'll have to do that one too, and the back of this one. A couple of them I might have missed something on. But anyway, they come out really cool. They're great, obviously, for your chunky charms or making jewelry or whatever you want to do. And so in part 3, I'm not sure if this is going to be a live stream or a video. Part 3 is going to be where I put together the chunky charm. Obviously, I'm not going to use all of these, but I'm going to use a good amount of them. Some of them are too big. I'll probably stick to the smaller ones. But I think it'll be cool to see to have you see how I put them together as an actual chunky charm. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will give it a try. It's really easy. It's not hard to do at all, and it's a lot of fun, and you get some real pretty things out of it. So that's it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And also share this video if you wouldn't mind on your Facebooks and social medias and Twitter and all that stuff. And yeah, leave me a comment below and let me know which shape is your favorite. Do you like the moons? Do you like the circles? Do you like the regular round ones, the spirally ones? And yeah, if you give this a try, if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, the link is in the description. There's a link in the description to my Facebook group where you can go and share all the stuff that you've made. there's a link to my Patreon, which is a place you can go, and that's where you can get access to a free, a secret Facebook group that's only for my Patreon users. We do classes, we do swaps, we do all kinds of things, but you got to be a Patreon member to be involved in the classes and all the fun stuff. It starts at $5 a month. So yeah, it's worth it to check that out. And then there's links to my Etsy shop, which in my Etsy shop, I've got paper flowers in there right now, and I've got all kinds of fun stuff in my Etsy. So check that out. And also there's a link to my Amazon favorite links, things that I love, that I use, certain supplies that I use a lot, including things like the matte gel that I love so much, which I'm knocking everything over for, like the matte gel that I love, and all different things are in that. If you click on that Amazon link below, you will see all the goodies. But I will also put some supplies, a list of supplies, a link. They'll be all linked below, so where you can get all the supplies to do what I did here, to make your own cool charms. So check that out for sure. And yeah, that's it. Have a great rest of your week. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do, and be nice to people. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.